So when my first wife got her step through, my second wife,
every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
all right, let's talk about the electric bike and the LCD, changing out the LCD on the electric bike, and why we're changing out the LCD. This is Chris, one half of Tripping with the Chris's, and today we're changing out the LCD on my wife's 2.0 step through. So when my wife got her step through, we made it about 3 miles and the E-10 error code came out, and we didn't know what to do. So it just so happened to be Friday afternoon, and I got a hold of Lectric Bike. And Lectric Bike, they said, take a picture of it, of the E10 error code, email it to us, and we'll send you a new one. Now the reason that the E10 code was showing up on the LCD screens is that there was an update that was not put on the LCD screens. So, as far as I know, the 1.0 electric bikes did not have an E10 error code. It was just the 2.0 bikes that had the E10 error code. One thing is that they're two separate LCD screens too. They're the 1.0 and the 2.0 are a little bit different. So it took, I bet it wasn't 4 days before I got our LCD screen in and changed it out. And I'm like, that would have been a great time to do a tutorial on changing out the LCD screen. Well, lo and behold, 3 weeks later, the E10 error code popped up, and we don't get to ride our bikes as much as we want to at the moment, so we probably got another 6-7 miles on it, and the E10 error code popped up again. Called him back up, and he was like, let me check everything out. He got on the computers. What happened was that they sent us out a new LCD screen, but that LCD screen hadn't had the update put on it. So they told me to do the same thing. Take a picture of the E10 error code, email it to them, and it took a little longer than 4 days. It took 6-7 days. So one thing I like about electric bikes, you could call them up on the phone. Everybody's courteous. Everybody's super nice. Everything's done by your phone number, so when you call them up, they know who you are, unless you're calling up from a different number than what you ordered. And they try and tell you everything that they can to the best of their knowledge. So when they said they were going to send me out one right away, before I was off the phone with them, I already had the email saying that it was getting packed and ready to be shipped out. So now I have the new one right here. And here is the LCD screen, okay? Now, on the LCD screen, there's one plug and that's it, okay? Here's your on-off switch to get through your pass 1, through your pass 5, and to move around your LCD screen. That's this right here. Both of them go on the handlebars. I'll show you how to do that. It's super quick. It's going to take less than 10 minutes. Actually, it'll take about 5 minutes. You'll need two tools. You'll need a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench, and you'll need a 3mm Allen wrench. So only two tools you'll need for this. And we'll go outside and install it on my wife's bike. All right, so I'll see you outside. All right, we're back. I've got this Allen wrench set. Like I said, you use the 2.5mm. You also use the 3mm to take off the LCD screen. 2.5mm goes to the control, and 3mm goes to the LCD screen. Okay, so let's get taking this thing apart. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to unwrap everything. Alright, you just need to unwrap it until you get down to the plug. Okay, so there's two plugs. One plug goes to the brake, which is this one. One plug goes to the LCD screen, that's this one. You just unplug it, pull it apart. Okay. If you look inside the plug, up at the top, there's a little pointy thing inside. That just slides into the groove, so when we plug it back in, it's going to make it really cool. Okay, it's the 2.5mm. That fits into the control switch. On the control switch, the screw does have a nut on the back side, so when you take it off, make sure you don't lose that nut. And I just kind of put my finger back there, because to be honest, it's easier to find the screw than it will be the nut if it falls down. And then I just screw it back in so that everything's in place, and I know it won't come apart while I'm taking the rest of it apart. Now the LCD monitor, that's a 3mm. That's a 3mm. It's the same thing. It's got a screw in the back as well. So just make sure they catch the thumb over the back of it. See, it just pops out right there. Make sure that you keep the rubber bushings for the new one. Okay, so now we've got the old one off, we'll put the new one back on. Alright, so I've got the new LCD screen, and remember I said don't lose the nuts or the screws for the LCD screen because it doesn't come with them. The controller, it comes with one. So I keep that as a spare just in case for, whatever. So anyways, all right, let's get to work and we'll put this back on, and I'll show you, man, it takes no time at all. All right, remember you got your rubber grommets right here. All right, so you just spread it apart. Get these put on. All right, remember it's the 3mm that goes on. One thing to remember when you're putting the LCD screen on, the rubber bushings, there's a slot in it. That slot needs to be down at the bottom where the slot for the clamp is. So the slots need to line up together. Okay, then you have the 2.5mm. That's for this one right here. All right, once I have all the screws in, then I'll take it and I'll get everything set the way I want it set. Then I'll tighten everything up. Okay, now that everything's tightened up, take the plug back in. Remember, you have the little knot right here, the little poker outer thing right there inside. It goes right into the slide. All right. Wrap it back up. All right, and then the last thing I do is I turn it on and make sure everything's working right. Okay, we've got the LCD screen and the controller installed on the bike, and as you notice, the odometer reading goes back to 0. It is what it is. It's a new LCD screen. So I hope all this helps out on the E-10 error code. It's not as bad as it looks. If you do get the E-10 code, Lectric Bikes does say that you can ride the bike. The bike does work as intended with the E-10 code until you get the new LCD screen in. I'm going to link the unboxing of my Lectric Bike XP right up here, and if you would subscribe, like, and ring the bell. Thanks everybody. Bye.